What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you new here, my name is Jordan and my family and I moved from Fort Lauderdale, Florida all the way to China. Make sure you like, comment, and you subscribe and you're following along for all of our China content. So guys, today I'm sitting outside this cafe. I believe it's called Bel Ray. I just ordered me an iced coconut latte. Let's give her a try. And you guys, this coconut latte was 18 RMB, which is equal to about 2 USD. Wow, there is zero sugar in this latte. Or maybe it's all at the bottom, I just can't taste it. But she's good, she's fresh. It's just there's no sugar in her. Alright guys, so today's video I want to talk about things that I do not do since moving to China. We've lived here for 8 months now. We've lived here since November, and our dynamic and way of life has completely changed. So I want to go over some things that we no longer do since living in China. The first thing that we no longer do since living in China is cook food. Every now and again I will cook in the kitchen, but the restaurants and the street food here is so affordable, and ordering food is way more affordable sometimes in China than actually cooking and buying groceries. Plus the food is very fresh, and like I said, it is very affordable. Back in the States, I absolutely hated ordering food. Not only was it overpriced, low quality, low quantity, but the delivery service was just absolutely insane. Like, don't even get me started on the prices of DoorDash. Anytime my wife wanted to go out to eat, I was like, babe, I can just cook that. If you want tacos, I can cook tacos. If you want steak, I can cook steak. I hated going out to eat or ordering food in America, but here in China, we order food all the time. I barely ever cook. And as you see, I'm ordering coffee. I make my coffee at home. Every now and again, I'll order a coffee or order a fresh drink. But when it comes to food, we barely ever cook. So the next thing that we do not do since moving in China is own a car or drive. Before I lived here, I drove a 2021 Mercedes-Benz that I worked so hard to get. I loved her so much. So shout out to my baby, I miss her. But since living here, I thought it was going to be a struggle to not own a car, but I absolutely love not owning a car. I love the luxury, it feels luxury to me, of being driven around by the DD drivers here and not having that high expensive car payment and not having the high expensive car insurance. Plus the stress of not having to drive in the traffic. Like, we lived in South Florida, the traffic there was insane. The driving was insane. The accidents that happen all the time, insane. So I am so thankful to not have to drive here. Plus, I walk a lot. I walk to this cafe here. It maybe took me maybe a little 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes to walk here. It's a beautiful day. It's not too hot. I like to get my exercise. We walk to our gym every day. We walk to the grocery store even sometimes. But driving, owning a car is something we do not do since living here in China. The next thing is bills, paying high cost for bills. We do not do that here in China. So how it works in China is for your electric bill, your water bill, your gas bill, you pay for what you use. So it's pretty much like a reloadable prepaid bill. If you want to put $100 on your electric, once that $100 is up, your electric can shut off, you just repay it and it automatically goes back on. There is no having an electric company, putting a deposit down for an electric company, having a bill sent to you in the mail for $500 for electricity. None of that happens here in China. So getting rid of paying those expensive bills, and again, I'm not paying car insurance, that was an expensive bill. I'm not paying my car note, that was an expensive bill. So having those expensive bills, we do not do that here in China. Alright, so another thing we don't do here in China is worry about crime. There is little to no crime here in China. There's cameras everywhere that record everything that people do, so people don't commit crimes here. And punishment for committing like very serious crimes and offenses is very strict. China runs a strict program, you guys. So here we do not worry about that. Back in America, I would literally be afraid to leave the house at night by myself. Even if it was just going to the grocery store, I was harassed constantly. Even during the daytime, I would be harassed. Even going walking anywhere in Florida, I would be harassed, followed, stalked. Like, here in China, that does not happen. People stare, they're gonna stare, but the harassment, the sexual harassment, That does not happen here. And like I said, we feel so much more comfortable and confident walking places alone here at night. Like, I've been to the gym at night and walked home. It's about a 10-minute walk. I feel safe. I feel perfectly fine. There's even sometimes we forget to lock our doors to our apartment because it is so safe here. Even so safe that people everywhere either ride bikes or ride scooters. They don't even lock them up. They just sit them outside. They will not, people don't steal here. Even our packages here, we have an open mail room for all of our packages, and it is a trust policy. You do not have to worry about somebody stealing your package. The people here work very hard, and I feel like they just all respect each other to not commit crimes against each other, to not steal, to not rob, to not hurt. But in America, it was completely different. Like, we were just constantly worried about leaving the house, about our safety. Anytime me and my daughter went anywhere, my wife wanted to be with us to make sure that we were safe. If she was able to come, she would definitely come. So along with what I just said, the next thing that we do not do since living in China is stress or have anxiety. And that was a major thing for us, especially for my wife. She wanted to leave so bad because her anxiety was high all the time. Not only was her anxiety high due to the stress and pressures in America of paying the bills, but also to stress and anxiety of our safety, constantly worried about us. If I went out with my friends, my wife would stay up all night until I came home. She could not sleep if I was gone because she was worried about my safety, which I completely understand because I would be worried about hers too. We were constantly stressed and worried about each other's safety, and she was constantly having anxiety. Just, bills alone cause stress and anxiety. A lot of people that we know in America struggle with that stress of paying bills, the stress, the financial stress. We do not stress about that anymore here. And another thing too is my wife was having chest pain and headaches so severe that she had to be hospitalized a couple times, and they would just give her anxiety medication and tell her she'll be fine and to leave. And we felt like that was not good enough. So because not getting any answers and not getting any help would add on to the stress and anxiety. I have myself even had anxiety attacks and having high anxiety to where I couldn't even sleep at night sometimes. And the lack of sleep would cause me to have a migraine. And then the next day I would be grouchy or very irritated because I had this severe migraine because I could not sleep and my anxiety was just cycling and circling over and over and over. I even went to my doctor one time about me having this high anxiety, and she put me on anxiety medication. I took that one time, and you guys, anxiety medication is not for me, okay? Like, that made me just, I did not like the feeling it gave me, let's just say that. So that is one thing that we do not have to worry about here, is having stress and anxiety. My wife does not have her chest pains anymore. Her headaches are gone. We are just stress-free, living a calm, peaceful life here, which is exactly what we wanted. And the last thing that we do not do since moving here in China is the work life, the stressors of the work life. So we both have a business, an online business, so we don't have to go to work and to clock into nobody's job here. I could not tell you how many times I felt bad having to work late at night and miss out stuff with my daughter, or even just spending time with her. I don't like that. And the people that have to go through that now, I feel so bad for, missing out on your kids, having to choose between work and your kids. We don't have to clock into nobody's job. We wake up when we want, we go to sleep when we want, we go on vacation when we want, we take trips when we want, we do whatever we want without the stress of having a boss right there with us, telling us what to do, when we can go, when we can come back, how we can't go. We do not have to worry about that here. And with that being said, getting out of the endless cycle and infinity loop of work where you're just literally waking up, going to work to pay your bills, to go back home and go to bed, we're done with that. That is over for us. We are focused on growing our family, getting even closer together, and a future for our family. I can literally see now a future for us financially with getting away from America. It just felt like it was just, when is it going to end? When is this humongous weight going to be lifted off of our shoulders? And now we feel, since living here, there is a huge weight lifted off our shoulders. Not having that stress and the pressure and being caught in the hamster wheel of life in America. We are done with that. And I'm so thankful, I'm so appreciative that that is not our life anymore. That is a list of things that we do not do since living here in China. Comment below on what you thought. Have you ever thought and considered moving out of the country yourself? If you are serious about moving to China, please click the link in the description box below. I do consultations for people who are serious about moving out of the country. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you are following along our journey as we live in China, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.